Falcon fans, and of course, good old Atlanta Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what it do. Man, one time for the fan, we are back talking Falcons football in a Falcon way. It's going down, man. I can't wait to get to this podcast here. It's been a little minute. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast. Man, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, we are outside. I repeat, T Will, just like the YN say, we are outside. Joining us tonight, we got T Will, former ATL Sports, one time for the fan. I believe Miss Carrie, baby, might be popping in here too as well. Big shout out to Miss Carrie. Big shout out to Bodie. Bodie, 3000. Chat is already live. Chat is already lit. Before we get started, we just want to give a big shout out to Craig, who placed 8th in the downhill dog sledding competition at the Winter Olympics out in Italy. So big shout out to Craig. The rest of his teammates didn't show up, and we just want to just shout out Craig. He's gonna get start the show for placing 8th in the downhill dog sledding competition. T Will from ATL Sports, one time for the fan. How is everything going with you, sir? What we say, T Will?
He's gonna get you back for that one. Hey man, all is well. You know what I mean? A couple of days later after the controversy, and interested to hear from the chat what they think, if their opinions have changed. Interested to hear from you, Jack, if your thoughts have changed on how you felt initially when the event was reported, and I'm talking about JPJ, as opposed to now after we've had a couple of days to digest, retrieve more information, talk about it. Love to hear your thoughts on that, buddy.
It's a lot to definitely talk about tonight on the podcast. T-Will, I think you might have a little bit. I might go ahead and hit you on the private chat right here.
Echo? You hear an echo?
Check that private chat. Check that private chat out. Yeah. Not the echo, but it's like we're watching a Tubi film in Japan right now. So just want to look into that too as well. It happens randomly, sometimes StreamYard does that.
Let me drop out.
But for here in the chat.
Let me drop out and come back.
Okay. But for everybody in the chat, big shout out to everybody. Welcome to One Time for the Fan. As you know, it's always from the fan for the fan. We have a lot to cover tonight since the last time we spoke here on the podcast. I'm sure everybody has their thoughts and, of course, their opinions about what recently happened with one of our star players here in Atlanta, the Falcons coaches speaking to the media and the fans today, and something I got to get to too as well, because T-Will, I don't know, were you on the YouTube stream today watching the meeting?
You're talking about with the coaches?
The press conference, yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you noticed, T-Will, and I want to start the podcast off like this before we get to the chat, because the chat is live, chat is lit. The fans in the stands are going crazy. Jeff Ulbrich and, of course, the special teams coach and Tommy Rees, Kevin Stefanski, they're speaking to the fans. They're speaking to the media. The chat is going crazy, too, as well, asking questions. Hopefully the Falcons social media team, picked up on some of the questions so they can ask, the coaches this in, future press conferences, or maybe ask them offline. But there was something else going on in the chat, too. Well, did you notice anything that was happening on the YouTube stream? Because for some strange reason,
and don't forget the unwavering support for JPJ. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, not necessarily. I'm going to get to James Jr. in a minute. Hit that share button. Hit that like button. Falcon fans, if you're on YouTube, like. If you're on Twitter, repost, retweet. Tag your Falcons friends. Tag your Falcons family. But for some strange reason, T-Will, there was a lot of people calling out Jack Spade in the podcast. For a minute, I thought I was doing the damn press conference today.
Wow.
And there's some people that's probably here in the chat, that's watching the show, that's listening to the show, that, I might have to address tonight on the podcast. I was a little busy earlier today taking care of some things.
You got to address some folks, huh?
I'm just saying. I mean, big shout out to everybody. This is nothing negative, but big shout out to, of course, Craig and Big Low and FF Will and ATL Dog and, of course, Jay Coop and everybody and King of Atlanta supporter. But even Miss Carrie jumped in on this apparently this roast of Jack Spade, I don't know where this came from. I don't
They
know.
were not roasting you. Don't tell me they were. Don't tell me they
I
were
don't
roasting you
know
in that.
if Carrie is getting these people riled up in private chats, or she's talking to people on
Mm,
Twitter Spaces, or she's DMing people on Facebook. But when Carrie says, "Get him, chat, let him have it," these fans just some for some reason attack Jack Spade like I did something wrong. T Will, what
wow.
is going on here? Because Big Low came with the roofing jokes, and Jay Coop came with the he needs his car detail. I'm guaranteeing you, T Will, if the Falcons social media was reading that chat, they were probably looking at who the hell is this Jack
Who is
Spade guy,
Jack
and
Spade?
why are all these fans going at him like he did
Mm,
something wrong. So as you
mm,
see, we started the show giving our shout outs and our our praise to Craig, who's out there in Italy right now. He did place eighth in the dog sledding competition, downhill dog sledding too as well. So hopefully the dogs are safe. That's number one.
oh wow.
For another thing too as well, Big Low Country Sports, before it finished raining today, he did finish taking care of the mailbox. The mailbox that he hit the other day in the U-Haul truck came over to get the boxes. I told him that he can get some extra boxes and some extra pallets. Apparently, Big Low for his age is doing some type of clubhouse. He's always doing something. So be
Mm,
prepared, Falcon fans, for another video from Big Low Country coming up. This time he's not going to be in the field. This time he's not going to be on the basketball court. He's probably going to be in a warehouse somewhere, building a clubhouse. So be prepared to see Big Low Country Sports on what he has coming up. But the chat is live and chat is lit, T Will. Before we get to them, man, how's everything going with you, sir? How's everything going before my ATL Sports? And what's the word, man?
hey man, all is going well. No complaints. We had a show the other night, Monday. It was a lot of fun. Good times were had, and I expect the same thing for this upcoming Monday. Hey man, we like everyone else are anxious to see what is going to come of this situation. I definitely enjoyed the press conference with the coaches. Really enjoyed Tommy Reese and a lot that he had to say. Now again, I'm at the point with this Falcons team. You got to show me, but he definitely made a very good first impression. I like what he had to say about running the ball, about the crux of what you're trying to do, about how running the ball under center is kind of a focal point and a foundational piece, if you will, to establishing a good play action game and keeping the defense. Uh,
Said some good things about Michael Penix too.
he did, yeah. He said he's got an arm; he can make any throw.
Mhm.
He said he's tough. Said he can stand in there and deliver a pass when a lot of other rookies would not. They may bail. So definitely, I'm looking forward to see what this Falcons team can cook up. But I liked a lot of what they had to say, specifically about installing the plays and working on the playbook, and how Stefanski is a big playbook guy and he likes to install certain packages and just I'm not going to geek out and keep going, but I've really enjoyed the technical aspect of what Tommy Reese had to say. And look, he's had success everywhere. Had success at Alabama, had success at Notre Dame, and with the talent that he has now, and Kevin Stefanski, I would imagine that you know the success is going to continue. So definitely looking forward to it, man. Those are my thoughts.
Definitely some heavy praise for Kevin Stefanski from the coaching staff. We'll get to that in just a minute. We have to start off the show by getting to the fans in the stands because the chat is live and the chat is lit. T-Will, it's going down in a major way.
It's
Big shout
going
out to
down
82
in a
Molly
major
Caller.
way. Chat is live. Chat is lit.
That's right, man. J Kid CEOs in the chat. Big shout out to J Kid, 82 Monte Carlo,
Were those the
Smooth
first
C.
words you said, Jack? Chat is live. Chat is lit. Like when you were just little baby Jack Spade. You know how some kids say "mama" and "dada." I can see you saying "chat is live. Chat is lit." Like I can see that being like the first words you ever said.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Will. I think from what I was told from my parents, my first word I said was Falcons.
Ah, okay.
So
I get it. I see
with
what you
that being
did
said, we're definitely going to get into these Falcons tonight. So big
there. I
shout out to
hear you.
everybody in the chat. DSGB Hall checking in from, I believe DSGB Hall right now is overseas. So
What up,
big shout to
DSGB?
DSGB Hall checking in. Don't know what time it is over there. Don't know. I can't remember what location you're at right now. You don't have to drop it in the chat, but if you want to, you can go right ahead. But he's in the military, so big shout out to DSGB Hall, man. Salute to your service and everything that you've done, man. Your dedication. We definitely appreciate it, man. If you can definitely send some money to Carolyn because she said she ran out of snacks earlier. So big shout out to DSGB Hall. And don't forget to put money on those books. Smooth Seas in the chat too as well said the beat just hits. Man, that intro I've had that intro for about a year and some change, maybe. So we definitely have to.
You've had that intro for Jack.
2 years.
We've been doing shows together for 2 years, Jack.
I drink a lot of Tito's, so I apologize.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just saying you had the beat before me.
Hey,
you and I. This is February of 2026. We started February of 2024, and you had the beat then. So you've probably had it for about 3 years, or at least 2.5.
Damn, my damn timing is off right now. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Going down in the major way. I already see the roast. I get scanned through the bottom of the chat. I already see some roasts already starting to come in.
But you know, Jack, it's bad when the 55-year-old has to remind the damn near 40-year-old, like, bro, come on, man.
Well,
come on, bro.
Terry, you don't drink the Tito's like me, bro. You don't consume the vodka like me, bro.
No,
sometimes
you're right.
It's not even vodka.
Nobody consumes that like you, bro. I've hung out with you before.
And for those in the chat that's probably looking at the cup right now, saying that's Tito's and cranberry. Not tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh wow!
But after the podcast, we're definitely
what is that in the cup? Inquiring minds want to know what is that in the cup, Jack?
So for tonight, this is just Kool-Aid right here. Just a little Kool-Aid.
It's Kool-Aid, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Y'all will know when I'm drinking the Tito's and cranberry. I guarantee you that.
Will we?
Yeah, y'all definitely know, man. The show will be a lot more live than this. I can tell you right now. But big shout out to Willie Osborne. J Kid said that beat dude slap though. Smooth C wants to know what's in your cup, T Will. You over here talking about the Kool-Aid. What's in your cup over there, T Will?
Man, I got some juice, some grape juice. That's
T Will, you drinking grape juice out of a solo cup, out of a Dixie cup?
Hey man, let me tell you something. You can take the boy out the hood, okay? But it's just some habits that stick. I like solo cups, but you don't have to wash them. You gotta wash them. When I'm done, I just throw it away. Just saying.
Big shout out to T Will the Recycler. Pam Johnson's in the chat too as well. Hello, Jack and T Will and everyone in the chat. Happy Wednesday.
Smooth C said, Jack, that's lean in that cup.
Oh my God. Come on, Smooth C. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that in the first 15 minutes of the podcast. We can't get there like that. Winston Thornton's in the chat cell. What's going on, fellas in chat? Smash that like button. Hey, chat, look. Here at Winston Thornton is saying, please hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. If you feel like sending some super chats, feel like, taking it to the next level tonight, go right ahead and send those over. Big shout out to T-Will once again. Big shout out to Miss Carrie. Big shout out to Bodie 3000. Auntie Pam is in the chat. Lady Birds of AFM. We already have some content creators in here. Winston Thornton is one of them too as well. Make sure you head over to Winston Thornton's page and talk some Falcons football with Winston Thornton too as well. J Kid said we took over the presser today. The YouTube comments were a lot because I jumped in there and I just said, "What's up, chat? How's everybody going? How's everything? What's the day looking like, man? Everybody good?" Next, first joke. Hey, Jack Spade, man, come change these tires. Jack Spade, when you gonna come detail this car? Jack Spade, we're going. I'm like, yo, hold on, what's going on? I know the Falcons social media team was sitting over there looking like, who the hell is this Jack Spade guy, and why they keep getting on him? And of course, some fans were in the chat who don't know about the podcast asking, how do y'all know each other? Are y'all season ticket holders? Do y'all see each other at the Beans every day? Do y'all go to are y'all playing for the Falcons? Like, no, we just content creators and podcasters, man. We talk about this stuff all the time. We love having a good time with the fans, talking Falcons, and of course, having a joke here and there. And of course, if I were to meet up with anybody that's in this chat, for those that know me and those that don't know me, we can have a drink. We can talk Falcons. We can hang out and go to the club. We can do all that type of stuff, man. It's always about that family environment when you're here on One Time for the Fan. Yuri's in the chat too as well. Big shout out to Mactown Dirty. He said Jack and T Will. Big shout out to all the fans that's in here. having a good time already. Eddie Shumani Carlos said, bro, I watched the replay. They ganging up on my dog. For the fans that watched the YouTube
Damn,
replay
they got him
and saw the
cornered.
live comment, T-Will, the live comments was rolling in about just the roast of, of course, people trying to get on me, but I don't take that lightly now. Now I got thick skin, so I can take a couple jokes here and there. And
Did
of
you
course,
come
I
back
grew up in
fired?
the,
Did
yeah,
you
I
come
grew up
back
in the,
fired?
the Eddie Murphy,
Did you
and of
say,
course the
say
Richard
hello to my
Pryor,
little friend?
the Bernie Mac
Say
era.
hello to my little friend. You
Yeah,
want to play rough? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I had to come back and crack some jokes too as well. J Kid said, but we found out that Carrie is still on the corner twirling those Pizza Hut signs. Big shout out to Carrie with her new job. I'm sure she'll be here in a couple minutes talking Falcons with us too as well. Hey, she'll throw shots at me too. T Will, our very own Carrie, our co-host, our podcast sister, our Falcons family, throwing shots at
You
me.
just
T
said
Will.
she was on the corner slanging pizzas, bro. I don't want that smoke.
Not pizzas. She was twirling the Pizza Hut sign.
Oh,
That's what I heard. That's what
that's
I heard.
worse.
Somebody
That's
sent me a picture.
bro.
Somebody sent me a picture.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. That was not me. I got nothing to do with that.
Hey,
All you, buddy.
big
You hear
shot to
me?
Carrie. I guess the oven repair and cleaning businesses ain't going too well.
Don't worry, she'll be here in a few.
Okay.
Her ears probably just sprang up because you were talking about it. She's like, I feel a tremor in the force. Jack is talking about me.
And look who it is. That boy Craig back here. Craig couldn't take enough of the roast earlier. He had to jump back in here and continue the roast. He was ready for 8 o'clock tonight. Craig's like, yeah, I'm going to get these jokes ready for Jack Spade. I'm going to hit up Chat GPT tonight. I'm going to get on Jack tonight. Nah, Craig, we got some.
Somehow, I don't think Craig is that kind of villain.
You don't think so?
How you were like, huh? Like, I don't think he's a mustache.
Bro, I jumped into Falcons chat and just wanted to listen to the presser today, and Craig was the first one. Oh, Jack's here.
It's like Thanos.
What?
I think Craig was back there talking to his counsel like, I guess I got to do it myself. You know what I mean?
That moment when Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America walked down the hill.
Gauntlet, and he's ready for you, buddy. I don't think Craig is a mustache twirling villain. I don't get that.
Big shout out to DSGB Hall. He said it's 5:18 in the morning where he is right now.
Damn,
watching
that's dedication right there.
One time for the fan. Yeah. So
I don't see Craig being, and I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddlesome kids. That's not him. He's not the kind of villain that gets caught. Okay, you gonna have to disappear him. you gonna have to get the Infinity Gauntlet and snap. Craig ain't. No, I don't see Craig being in there like. I think Craig was in there ready. Okay, are you?
But we know, T. Will, that it's 5:18 in the morning where DSGB Hall is. Craig, what time is it in Italy? Because I know you didn't place on the podium. USA is gaining some medals right now. I think they're 2 behind the top team right now. I think they're 2 behind Italy or China right now.
In here, Jack. We got Uncle Lou.
Oh, big shout out to Uncle Lou, man. We're going to get to everybody's comments in here. Eric Z's in the chat. Big shout out to Eric Z. Cass T is in the chat. Big shout out to Cass T in the chat, too, as well. Craig said, Jack tells time by the sunlight in the moonlight. Big shout
Oh, boy. I do it.
Shout out to Craig in the chat,
he
man.
Probably got 10 in the clip right now.
J Kid said, I'm on the exact no coat. Big shout out to J Kid. If you're sipping, you ain't tripping, man. As long as you're in a safe environment. Don't forget, if you are, partaking in a little alcohol tonight as you watch the podcast, definitely be in a nice, safe environment. Drink responsible too as well. We're not having everybody out here drinking and driving. Listen to the podcast. Don't do all that. Make sure you're at, your house, or you're at somebody's house, or if you're in the car or wherever you're at, you're sitting, you're stationary. You ain't got to worry about, whipping around the city or anything like that. From watching the Olympics the other night, Craig must have been a little bit tipsy because 2 of the dogs, the commands just wasn't on point for some strange reason. And that's why he lost the race, especially on that second lap right there too as well. Craig, if you want to jump in the chat, let us know what happened during that downhill bobsled.
He's about to let you know, all right.
That downhill dog sled race.
He's about to let you know something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he lost to South Korea and Finland was in his heat. Yeah. So a big shout out to Craig in the chat. DSGB Halls in here said T-Will double cup drinking juice. Come on, man.
Sipping on gin and juice, laid back. with my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Tony Hall's in the chat. Big shout out to Tony Hall. Eric Mack is back in the chat. Big shout out to Eric
Hey, man,
Mack.
what's going on?
Oh, Craig, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? T. Will, he's a villain. He said T. Will's finally not wearing his Alabama hat. Craig, you got it. T. Will.
It's not an
T. Will.
Alabama hat, Craig. I'm all about the A, sir. I'm all about the A. I'm all about the business of the ATL. From the moment I wake up until the moment I go back to sleep, I'm all about the A, sir. So, no, sir. It's not an Alabama hat. It's
Z.
the A.
Eric Z said we all family in the club. Big shout out to Yuri in the chat too as well. Yuri posted on his Twitter the other day that right. Yuri posted in his chat the other day that he wants to talk some Falcons with us. So he said he wants to jump on somebody's podcast. I think we have to get Yuri back in here. Yuri was on this podcast last year.
Back in there. What up, Yuri? What's going on, man? Definitely got to get Yuri back in here.
Big shout out to VIP Yuri in the chat, talking Falcons football. Uncle Lou is also in the chat with us, talking Falcons football tonight. Big shout out to Uncle Lou in the chat. Got the Algier family in here. Big shout out to the whole entire Algier family. Y'all are great. Y'all are truly amazing. We're going to give some praise to Tyler tonight too as well. So definitely want to stick around for that. J Kidd is back in the chat. Said I got to back Jack. Trust I got jokes for days. I know J. I know y'all. Let me tell you something. Atlanta. Remember I tell you, T. Will, we might lose the game, but we're going to win the petty. We're going to be petty. We're going to crack some jokes here and there. We're going to have a good time, but it's all in good faith, though. Nobody was being disrespectful in the chat with the Falcons earlier.
How petty are you, Jack?
What's up?
How petty are you?
How petty am I?
How petty are you?
I mean, it depends. Like, if we're talking Falcons, I'm not petty. You know, I love my Falcons. But if we're cracking jokes here and there and I feel like it's going to be a landslide, like my boy Loaded Luck said in that battle rap that time, landslide, yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably a 20. You know, if we want to get there when it comes to cracking these jokes, I'm just very professional at cracking some of these jokes because I know we have a podcast. I know people are listening. I know little kids could be watching too as well. Some of the parents are in here talking Falcons football with us. But if we want to get offline, T. Will, and get after it, you know, there's no filter. I can tell you that right now, man. This ain't no black and mild up in here now, Craig. I can tell you that now. But big shout out to everybody in the chat. Eric Z said Italy and Netherlands are tied, I believe. USA could have had another medal if Craig would have placed, but he only placed 8th in the downhill dog sledding competition too as well. Bad time for Craig too as well. He hit like 3 or 4 of those flagpoles. One dog went to the right. The other dog actually broke off the leash and went back home. So big shout out to Craig for representing your country. King of Atlanta supporters in here talking Falcons football. He said, "What's up?" King said, "Can't wait to see my team win their first Super Bowl rings." Man, I'm for real. I've been saying it. King, I think we all been saying it, but you definitely joined the podcast and say it every single time that the Falcons will be winning their first Super Bowl very soon. So big shout out to King of Atlanta supporter, King of ATL supporter in here. Eric Z said, "I'm sorry, Norway, not Netherlands," but still, Craig didn't place. So USA is short a couple medals right now. J Kidd said, "Oh no, I'm at the house making some creamy garlic chicken." What? T. Will, the creamy garlic chicken?
Sounds good to me.
Come on, man. J Kidd said,
"Party at J Kidd's house." Party at J Kidd's house.
He said, "Name one UGA player." T. Will.
Gunnar Stockton. Kobe
Somebody
Young.
calling you out, T. Will.
I don't know why they want to do me like that, man. Why they want to do
your
me
brother,
like
man? LBB got these folks riled up on that discussion that we had that one time where you said they know where you're really from, T. Will. Now, big shout out to everybody in the chat.
Bro, come on, man. Like, bro, come on. I'm ATL all day. All day. I've been here for 52 years, bro.
No Georgia Tech. Take off the tech. It's just Georgia. Big shout out to Birdcage in the chat too as well.
You about to piss Auntie Pam off.
Oh, I'm sorry, Auntie Pam.
You said that. You know she's a Georgia Tech fan.
Auntie Pam looked at that camera.
30 seconds before she comes back.
What Jack just said about Georgia Tech? What Jack just said about my swarm? Oh my gosh! Big shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Birdcage said, "Jack, don't let T. Will handle your mock draft. He's gonna mess you up." T. Will, what's this?
Ryan, I'll be so glad when you get over that. So I was doing his mock draft, and I think he told me he told me two people to pick, and I don't know what had been happening, man. But I don't know if I was tired. I did mess it up, and he's been holding on to it. You know what, Ryan? We'll have to do another mock draft. We'll have to do one this year. Okay,
The
I'll
cool
make
thing
good
about
on
it is,
I'll make up for it.
it is draft season, combine season. Of course, you guys saw the Senior Bowl that happened not too long ago. A lot of these names are already starting to move up the ranks. Some of these names are starting to be passed back down the ranks. So we're going to do a mock draft here coming up in about a week or so on One Time for the Fan. I think we had a good time doing it last year, where T Will did his mock draft. I did my mock draft. The chat was involved. And of course, One Time for the Fan, we love to include everybody. So of course, with some of these names that we've been hearing about, I'm sure that these mock drafts that we'll put out for the fan base that don't get a chance to watch One Time for the Fan or didn't get a chance to watch the mock draft episode that we're gonna have, we're gonna make sure that we tag the right people and use the right hashtag so people can definitely see what One Time for the Fan has up in store for their mock draft coming up. Da Hunter's in the chat. Big shout out to Da Hunter with the one time. Uh, Jack, who you think you are? I am. Big shout out to Craig is in the chat. Craig's on his
Oh,
Thanos,
wait,
man.
wait. Hold up. Say that line again.
Jack, who you think you are? I am.
That's cold. That sounds like something you say before you kick somebody off a building. Jack,
Oh
I know
my
we
gosh.
fight for 2 hours in this movie, but who you think you are? I am. Hasta la vista,
I don't know
baby.
how old Craig is, T Will. I don't know how old he is. He reminds me of Mr. Clark from Lean On Me. Remember Mr.
Oh,
Clark?
stop
Mr.
it.
Clark.
And you can
Mr.
call me
Clark.
Batman. You can call me Batman.
You don't know the school song? Sing it. Sing it now.
Man, East Side.
Far east side. Matter of fact, nah. The kid who started singing reminds me of Craig. Snot running out his nose, crying and
Stop
shit in the
it. Oh,
bathroom.
you
trying
talk
to
about
skip
what's
class.
his name from Juice. You talk about what's his name from
Yeah.
Juice.
Yeah.
I cannot. What was his character's name in Juice? I can't think of him. I know you talking about.
Craig reminds me
Oh
of a couple
man.
people. You remember Bilal and House Party? Yo, quit hitting quit knocking the DJ booth.
What did I helped you out? Wait,
Sam.
chill. That was
Sam.
chill. I was helping you out. Hype. You're just the type of propaganda in the land of supply and demand. A girl without a mind ain't booming. You got to be more than just a butt that's booming. Assuming there's room in my life for a love. Okay, stop. I love that
T
song.
Will, man. For
And
my
my type
ATL
of
movies, make sure y'all check out T Will for my ATL movies, man.
I
Craig said he
love House
34.
Party.
He said he 34. So Craig's he's right where we need him to be for the roast. He's right where we need him to be. I thought Craig was like 21, 22. So I didn't want to say too many things. He'd be like, what the hell are these old heads talking about? Nah, Craig 34. Craig 34.
Okay.
We're gonna get on him. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We done caught up to some of the comments right now. Birdcage said you going in on that full force too as well.
I love House Party, man. I love
House Party was one of the funniest movies I've ever watched too as well. You can't get comedy like that these days. But T Will, man, we got some real stuff to get to. Chat, I want to get y'all involved too as well. We're going to go ahead and put the first topic on the screen. I'm sure you guys already know about it. I'm sure you guys already talked about it. We can't spend 2 hours discussing it, but Falcon fans, here it is. James Pierce Jr.
WTF, man?
What the man?
What the fracking what's going on, JPJ? So Jack, how you feeling about it, man? Like with all the news, right, that's come in, do you still feel like he's gone? Nothing we can do about it, or do you feel like maybe
So
he can
I'll say this, T. Will. You had an amazing podcast the other day.
Thank you, brother.
Where I jumped on a couple other podcasts and content creators.
Oh Lord, here we go again. Oh Lord, here we go.
Oh Lord, holy.
Oh Lord, she got that thigh out. Here we go again.
It's a lot. We did a podcast the other day, T. Will. We got off your podcast around like 3 a.m. I think it was, and the chat was going crazy. Now, here's the thing. I was sitting there playing 2K, me and the homies. And of course, there's a lot of fake Twitter pages out there, right?
Right.
There's a lot of people like to impersonate some of the bigger journalists, Ian Rappaport, Adam Scheffner. So when I first saw the original tweet, I looked over and I said, James Pierce Jr. has been arrested. And I'm looking like, back to 2K. And it hit me quickly. I was like, wait a minute, that ain't no fake tweet. That's really Adam Scheffner. So I looked down, I clicked the link, pulled me up to the Twitter page. And then, of course, from the Falcons groups that I'm in, and of course, the Discords and social media, T Will, it was just like a swarm of social media posts and text messages, people calling me, people hitting me up. Like, I work for the Falcons. I don't. But the thing about it is, T Will, I was just truly and honestly disappointed from the first initial tweet that I saw from the person who was covering this down in Miami, to then seeing the Falcons reporters start to cover this, to then seeing the Falcons social media, the fans who just do a great job of being fans, start to cover this. And T Will, it just started to trickle down from there. And it got more and more disappointing as the details was released. Of course, jumping on the quick call with Kerry and you and everybody else before you did the podcast, the video comes out of the arrest, where of course it's him versus like five or six, maybe seven, eight, maybe nine, 10 officers, and you're finding out these this information that's going on about the car chase and hitting the police officer with the vehicle and smashing into the young lady's car and just everything that was going on. And it's like, I just saw James Pierce at the NFL honors. No way this is really happening. I thought it was a dream, even for my friends who text me the morning after, because I was like in the evening when this went down. Of course, it happened in the afternoon where he was in Miami. But for some of the people that got the information, they were asleep. They were in their bed. They was at work. They didn't even get a chance to check the phone. So when they woke up, they're still texting and calling me like, Jack, is this real? This is really happening? And it was disappointing to see that somebody um, who plays for the Atlanta Falcons, when all that we've been through over these years, even with the firing of Raheem and the firing of Terry, getting the new head coach and Matt Ryan in the building, all from the negatives to the positives that we were getting ready to start the feed off of, it goes right back into the hole of the negatives when you have a player who did something on the level of Michael Vick. Matter of fact, this is past Michael Vick. This is past what Calvin Ridley did. This is past what Prince Shembo did and some of those other guys who Arthur Blank had to deal with in the past. I was upset, and still to this day, right now, I'm still upset. Of course, my feelings and my thoughts have not changed, but they're a little bit different now due to the fact of more information has come out. And of course, we go through our day and day of working and taking care of family and doing what we have to do. So I can't spend 24/7 just, you know, all Atlanta Falcons. I have other things to take care of. But as I sit back and I go over these reports and the arrest record and the felonies and the misdemeanors and the traffic citations and everything that went on with it, I am just I, I don't know, T. I'm lost as to how this young man, as to why this young man would do such a thing. And of course, we got to start it off by with the thoughts and prayers to Rakia Jackson. This is not a cover for James Pierce Jr. thing. The thoughts and prayers go to Rakia Jackson and her family and what she's dealing with, what she has to go through. But Tiwa, I talked about it the other day on your podcast for like 3 or 4 hours. Now we're back on One Time for the Fan, and we didn't get a chance to do a podcast since the information came out. So now that we're here tonight, chat. We're gonna go through your comments. I know everybody has a lot to say. We also have a super chat
Super chat
from our good friend Dwayne Ruffin. Big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin out there in the West Coast, talking Falcons football with us, man. Sending a nice, amazing super chat from a super fan. Big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin. He said, "All bad." I still can't believe it.
All bad. I still can't believe it. Deeg, hey man, we gotta shout out King Atlanta supporter. So King Atlanta supporter is saying he doesn't want to discuss it because he kind of saw that growing up. And hey man, I don't want to. We don't want to trigger you, bro. If you don't want to, we understand, bro. We're not trying to do that. We're not trying to bring up any bad memories or anything like that. I definitely Grew up in a household that, let's just say, it was eventful. I'm not going to get into it, but it was born at the Wilson house. So, in all seriousness, I can understand where you're coming from, King. Definitely not trying to trigger you, brother. Hey, man, do what you need to do. We're only talking about it because it's news, and it will shape just basically the moves that it's going to shape how we move going forward in the offseason. If
One player is getting ready to shift a lot with this
he is
team and
right,
organization.
because if they suspend him for a year, you got to replace that. You got to replace 10 and a half sacks. If it's half a year, you're gonna have to have somebody to step in. So it's not just what he did, King. It's more so the circumstances and the impact behind it. But again, we want to respect how everyone feels. And hey, man, if it's bringing up triggering information, I get it, bro. I dealt with a lot of stuff growing up, so I get it, man. And hey, man, definitely don't want to do that. Don't want to bring up any negative feeling towards your brother. We love you, and hey, man, that's all I wanted to say. Okay,
Big
Jack, go
shout
ahead,
out to the
sir.
super chat, man, from Dwayne Ruffin checking in
Super chat.
from the West Coast, man. I believe the sun is still up out there where he's at, but it's damn near pitch black over here in Atlanta where we at, man. But big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin. You can catch him pretty much at a lot of these away games. He travels, he brings his family, and of course, when you're doing it, when you're hearing it from a family man like Dwayne Ruffin, when you're hearing it from somebody who works hard like Dwayne Ruffin, I'm sure a lot of people can agree that it is
Yep.
very bad. And a lot of us still can't believe it to this day that these are the things that we're dealing with as Falcon fans when Coach Stefanski and Tommy Rees and Matt Ryan and Bob Quinn and Arthur Blank and everybody in that front office is trying to do the best they can to bring success to this city. And this right here, um, I know the team will move forward, but this right here in the offseason is holding us back because the
Yeah.
media is reporting it. TMZ is reporting it. Media outlets who doesn't cover the Falcons are reporting it, and it's giving us a bad look
Yeah.
when it comes to what happened. We're going to get to some additional details here because we have somebody who has been reporting on it that I've been following who gave some exclusive details about what's going on. And of course, I want to pick the chat's brain about it. DA Hunters in the chat said everyone was just
Yeah.
praising JPJ. And then this, disappointed. Big shout out to Georgia, Texas boy in the chat. One time for the fan, Jack T. Will and Falcons family. What's good? The new era is here. It's time to rise up and stoop. Big shout out
Yeah.
to Georgia, Texas boy
What up,
in the
Georgia
chat.
Tech? Why?
Also, big shout out to King Atlanta supporter. We definitely understand what you got going on, and of course, you know what you saw, heard, been a part of growing up, and we do give you our full support when it comes to these type of things because one time for the fan is a family, right? And we don't want to definitely say anything that triggers anybody or has anybody feeling some type of way about how we cover some of these stories or some of these some of this news that comes out. The one thing about it is, with one time, I haven't even got a chance to really speak on it. Otherwise, the T
Right.
will show. So a
Right.
lot of people haven't really got a chance to really hear what I have to say about it, and of course, what some of these other members in the chat have to say about it. T
Mhm.
will too as well. We won't spend an hour or 2 hours on it. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
There's some information we can talk about. We can go over the chat. We can go over their comments.
Mhm.
I'm sure people's going to have questions about it too as well. Me and T Will do not work for the Falcons. Me and T Will do not work for the Door County Police Department. We don't work in the investigative or in journalism field when it comes to covering these type of things. And we're podcasters, content creators, and we're diehard Falcon fans. This is Falcons news, and I know it might not be late breaking for you guys because it's a couple of days now, but on the podcast, because we have people that listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. Big shout out to Online Tuna, who's in New Zealand. So I'm sure he might be even be checking in, like, man, what is going on here? Like,
What
I'd
is
love to
going
hear.
on in the A?
Right, I'd love to hear what content creators and podcasters and people who spend their their day and nights thinking about the Atlanta Falcons have to say for these. Strapped Up said they're about to drop these charges for James Pierce Jr. and he's going to take a plea deal. That is the breaking news that happened earlier today, that Rakia could be possibly taking a plea deal, which could not really lighten the case for James Pierce Jr. He still has
You
some of
mean
those
James can
felonies
be
to
taking a
deal
plea
with.
deal? You mean
What's up, T.
James?
Will?
You mean James can be taking a plea deal, not
Right,
Rakia?
James,
Yeah.
um, which could lighten the case a little bit for him, but in the situation, he still has to deal with some of those felonies. dealing with the police. And of course, she has her counsel, she has her team, so who knows what they're going to say about it. But there was some news that came out earlier that she wanted to take it to trial. Take this shit to trial. Take this shit to trial. Doom, 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 doom. Y'all remember that, Mr. Big? But it's tough, man. It's tough when you're dealing with this type of stuff. Um, Jay Kidd said, I'll touch it, but what do y'all think about Tutu Atwell? He ran a 4.3 and he has returned kicks and punts in his rookie season. Market value 2.6 mil. Falcons are getting ready to do their due diligence on everybody coming out the draft, of course, in the free agency, re-signing players. We heard it today too as well. The only person you didn't hear from was Ian Cunningham and Matt Ryan, but I guarantee you a name like Tutu Atwell is probably going to be on the Falcons list this offseason. So I would love to have a player like Tutu Atwell in the building. Is what the Falcons wants to do. Um, so big shout out to King of Atlanta. Big shout out to Jay Kidd in the chat. I'm reading through the comments right now. Let's see here. D. Craig said, unless something changes, I still think JPJ is cooked. Yeah, we spent 4 hours the other night on T. Will's podcast talking about it. And the one thing about it is you're here with Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank is an owner that doesn't play that type of stuff. The crazy part about it is he's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he still has his life ahead of him. He still has possibly a career in the NFL ahead of him, which is wild because the Falcons haven't released him yet. I don't know what additional details they're looking for. I'm sure they're not waiting until March 13th or June 1st for anything. But they haven't released James Pierce Jr. yet. And it's kind of not concerning, but it's kind of has you wondering, do the Falcons want to see how this plays out with the court system, T. Will, and then see how they can, I guess, manage him being suspended and then playing him eventually if he goes to jail? Will they release him? Because I guarantee you this, T. Will, and as ugly as it may seem with the situation, there is another team in the NFL who's going to wait for James Pierce Jr. to be released.
About 30 of them.
And when his availability becomes available, they're going to sign him. They're going to go to a press conference. They're going to tell you all oh, yeah, we heard about that type of stuff. Let me tell you what type of player he is. They're going to try to kick all that shit to the curb.
Yeah.
So for the Falcons, what are they getting ready to do in this situation? As the chat goes over it,
they're going to drop him. You know what? You couldn't have told Saturday night. I was like, he's gone. He's out of here. He's not coming back. But after looking at it, and for me, what it's about, and again, I'm not excusing any of this. I'm not excusing any of it. I'm not advocating for it. But I don't think he physically attacked her. That's one. He did try and impede her from leaving. But even in that, I don't know that he was trying to hurt her. For me, it's about the velocity that he hit her truck with, right? Like if he hit her going 80 miles an hour, oh, you trying to kill her, you need to go. But if you're just trying to stop her, you hit her going 20 miles an hour because you're not trying to hurt her, you're just trying to prevent her from leaving. Still wrong, but I could see the difference. You get what I'm saying? Now,
don't break it down for the fans. You're not agreeing with James Pierce Jr. in any action that he did.
I'm not agreeing with it at all. I'm saying there's a difference between if Jack comes out in the street and Jack and I are in an argument and I drive at him 90 miles an hour, I'm trying to kill Jack. Okay. Mm-hmm. If I drive at Jack 15 miles an hour, I'm not trying to kill him. You get what I'm saying? So I think, and again, I'm not advocating it. They're both wrong. I'm simply saying the more we find out about this case, it doesn't seem as egregious as it was initially reported. Because, again, the details were sketchy. So we hear, oh, she broke her nose, which, again, we haven't had that confirmed. But if the airbag deployed, that
could do some damage. Especially on the impact when it's hit on.
Then you got to ask yourself, okay, what is the combined speed? Or what is the speed necessary for an airbag to deploy? And if somebody knows that, drop it in the chat. So if it's 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, okay, well, then that's a little different. So I don't know, but the Falcons very well could keep him. You know that what may impact that or cause them to go into another direction would be if there was a tape that came out and it's of him, you know, and let's say he's driving 60 miles an hour and somebody's got that on camera and you see the sheer impact and it just looks bad and it looks menacing, that could change it, right? Because that's what happened with Ray Rice. Ray Rice, they had already ruled on it. They were gonna he was gonna be suspended, and people were talking about it. And then that tape was released with
Mhm.
him and Mike Tyson
Which
playing.
was a February incident that happened in September too, as
Correct.
well. I know the
Correct.
Henry Ruggs situation. They released him that night. They released him like 3 o'clock in the morning. That
Right.
information came down. Um, just some of these details that have came out now that we know, because there was a lot of stuff that was going on the first day. We didn't know where to really pinpoint some of the facts and misleading information. But now that it's been a couple of days after he's already been in jail, he's already been bonded out. A young lady named Trish Christakis, who's reporting on it, has some info here. It says that Rakia called the police Saturday morning, stating that Pierce was following her in his car.
Mm-hmm.
She told police that they recently broke up after 3 years, and she blocked his number to avoid contact. But he used a separate number to continue contacting her. I think
Was
that's where
that
the
probably
I think
was
that's where the
that?
stalking charge might be coming from too, as well. Blowing her up from different
Yeah.
numbers, alternate numbers,
Uh-huh.
calling her from the Obama phone. A text shows she told him to leave her alone, that she wanted nothing to do with him. Kept texting her. When she left the house, she noticed him driving behind her. That's the trouble right there too, as well. When she left the house, she noticed him driving behind her.
Right.
This dude is sitting out. He camped out.
Oh yeah, he's
That's
waiting.
he left NFL honors on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Made it to Miami, of course. That's San Francisco to Miami. That's not Stone Mountain to Latonia.
It's not.
That's not McDonough to Locust Grove. He had time to think about this. He had time to go over it and say, I don't want to do this. I don't need to do this. I don't have to do this. I can
Mm-hmm.
go to a restaurant. I can go to a club. I can call up one of my sides and deal with that. But no, he literally went through with this. Kept texting her when she left the house. She noticed him driving behind her. When she stopped at a red light, she tells police he got out of his car, tried to open the door. She was fearful for her life. She sped away, tried to make it to the police department, where James Pierce Jr. intentionally crashed into her,
Mm-hmm.
blocking her access to the police station. Now, I did do some deep diving on the Google Maps. From where the incident apparently occurred to where the police station was, too, I was talking to you guys on the call the other night. It was less than 4 minutes away from where that Northwest Street was to the Doral Police Department. So all this is happening in a quick span of just, it looks like a damn Fast and the Furious film in the middle of damn Doral County.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in the middle of the afternoon. This ain't no doggone 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. So people are clearly seeing this. They got their phones out probably. That's the one thing that can hurt them too as well. When people release this TMZ reports and these videos of the Ring camera. Obviously, everybody got Ring camera. Which I got to talk to you about that too as well. Did you see that Super Bowl ad the other day about Ring?
Mm-hmm.
T. Will, Ring said, and this is for everybody who has a Ring camera. If you have a lost pet, a dog, a cat, a bird, a hamster, anything, a lost pet, apparently Ring camera said they can log into your Ring camera to find that animal. That's some that's gone too far now, Ring. I'm about to go ahead and disconnect mine. I don't know what the hell they got going on. But to broadcast that, T Will, that's some scary shit. T Will, they saying if you lost your dog and your dog is in the back of Hampton, Georgia, and your dog ends up in Jonesboro, Georgia, and it crosses somebody's Ring camera in Jonesboro, they can pinpoint where that dog is by logging into that Ring camera. Boy, what?
What
We
they're
ain't
telling you
doing that.
without telling you is they're already using it.
They already, man, they gonna
They're
freeze you.
already using it, and it ain't necessarily to find dogs. And
I'm telling you.
they're letting you know they're using it. So
That's some scary stuff right there, man. And
it is,
also,
it is scary.
it's very embarrassing for the Super Bowl with those Super Bowl ads the other night. People show up to watch the Super Bowl for some of the commercials. Of course, the game too as well. The
Mm.
halftime performance, them commercials was trash. I mean,
Yeah,
trash.
yeah, they weren't that great. I missed the Doomsday. Did you see the Doomsday commercial?
They didn't have it.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
They didn't have it. The best commercial they had, what I think, was the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, where they
Yeah.
had Urkel and they had some people from a different world and some of the old actors who used to be on your favorite TV shows back then when we was growing up. Um, which I think is just trash for the Super Bowl. To people pay millions of dollars to see some of these ads, and that's the type of commercial that we got, which is very embarrassing. Also, the Seahawks just dominating the New England Patriots all game. Will Campbell, that defense, Sam Darnold, everything Seattle did was just in pure domination over the New England Patriots, and I don't even think they'll be back next year too as well. But just to funnel through this right now, of course, we've heard about
You
the
don't think
police
Seattle
chase.
will
We
be
heard
back,
about.
or you don't think
I don't think
Seattle
New
will be
England's going
back?
to be back next year. No, Seattle's going to be a team that is going to be a tough team next year. New England, on the other hand, they had an easy schedule. T. Will, right?
Mhm.
I think their toughest opponent they played this year outside the Bills was probably us. Like we gave them a run for their money on that game right there. We lost by 1 point, and we honestly could have won that game if Parker Romo would have made that extra point.
Damn field goal kicker.
Always comes down to the kicker. But it's just very embarrassing to see some of the things that we've heard and just seen on the report for James Pierce Jr. I
Mhm.
know a lot of people's in that WTF moment right now for James Pierce, but it leads us to the next situation here. What do we do, T. Will, on the sense of if he does stay with the Atlanta Falcons? You're going to have the backlash from the media. You're going to have the backlash of those support groups who don't condone this type of activity from an NFL player, even for anything in America that has to do with, um, fighting women and of course these type of what's the stalking allegations and all this type of stuff. There's support groups who really tackle this stuff from the moment they wake up in the morning to the moment they go to bed at night. Does Arthur Blank, does the Falcons really want this type of smoke, T. Will? Because they haven't released him. And that's
I
the
don't.
question for the
Yeah,
chat. Do they want this smoke?
I don't think they do. But again, uh, not to be ambivalent about it or indifferent or nonchalant, but 10.5 sacks, 10.5 sacks, man, that doesn't grow on trees, okay? I'm being facetious, but in all seriousness, no, they're not just gonna dump them. I'm sorry, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. They will probably slow play this and watch it play out. And if he can plea down to misdemeanors, then he probably comes back.
If he keeps himself out of jail, because everybody's talking about it's going to be a minimum of 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, and he could face up to 20, 30 years in prison. If we don't see him going to jail, it's a possible chance that you will see him on the practice field in training camp.
Absolutely.
Now, what the NFL is going to do about the situation is something to watch for too as well. Because if you get him suspended for 8 games, 9 games, that's where you have these talks now, and these are just rumors. As you can see on the screen, if the Falcons can land a Max Crosby, which I know that money is going to be, it's a lot of money. But if you can land a Max Crosby, if you can continue to keep Caden Ellis, we talked about it the other day, Arnold Ebiketie and D'Angelo Malone and Leonard Floyd, that might be something to look at too as well. Do I think he starts week 1 if he stays here? Possibly not. Probably a suspension will come down. But the other day, we did talk about if he's going to be released and Arthur Blank and how they feel about the situation, and they don't have no zero tolerance for this stuff. But days later, T. Will, something is telling me like they want to let this play out and see if he's going to get jail time. They want to let this play out and see if there's going to be a plea involved. They want to let this play out to see if they can some way, somehow work with the kid off the field to get his mind together. Because on the field, you know what type of player you're getting. And like I told you, Falcon fans, if he is released, there will be another team signing him. He won't be playing for the Toronto Argonauts or he'll be going back to college. That ain't happening. Another team will sign him. Their media will ask questions about his off the field behavior. You know what they're gonna say? Oh yeah, we've heard about that. We've done our due diligence and we speak to everybody we need to speak to. But let me tell you what he's gonna do on the field.
He's misunderstood.
That's what they're gonna say.
He's misunderstood.
It's exactly what they're gonna say. So I think the Falcons are looking at it as they know somebody. He's not making $100 million, T. Will. He has a contract
Man,
that if he gets released, it's just another day. It's just another player getting released for the Falcons. This ain't no big money contract.
at the end of the day, people will treat you according to your talent, and that's just in life. If he was a fifth rounder, he'd have been gone. He'd
Special
have been
teamers.
gone. He'd have been gone before the ink dried on there. He what? Well, he was an Atlanta Falcon. He's been released. We don't even have the details of the whole story. But 10 and a half sacks, we got to work this out. It's like the whole thing with Deshaun Watson. Everybody was like, oh my God, I can't believe what he did. It's disgusting. Wait a minute, he's innocent? Hold on. Get his agent on the phone. Come on, let's go. Let's do it now. We got to sign him. Come on. And thank God the Falcons didn't sign him, but, it suffice it to say that how you were treated is in direct correlation to how people perceive your talent. And that's not just in football, that's in life. That's just life. So, it's gonna be
I don't
interesting.
want to use. I don't want to use the old players who's had problems to justify anything for James Pierce Jr. to say, "Oh, look at Deshaun Watson. Oh, look at this guy over here. He did that. Look at this guy who played
Yeah,
for that team. He'd been in some trouble before too, and he's still
yeah.
playing." What he did was 100% wrong.
Oh, it's 100% wrong. It was 138% wrong. But I think but what it boils down to is, did he physically attack her? Or was he trying to stop her? You get what I'm saying? Like if he'd have physically hit her with his car, if he'd have tried to run her over, he'd be in jail, and we're not even having this discussion. But if he's trying to impede her from going somewhere, that's different. You get what I'm saying? That is, and more than likely, that's what his lawyers are probably going to say. Is like, look, he's not trying to hurt her. Should
The
he have done?
lawyers seemed very confident,
They do seem confident. They do seem confident.
very
What
confident
what,
that
what I think is gonna
he'll be back on the field in no time.
what's gonna be the challenge is the fact that he hit that officer's knee. Like that to me, that's the big challenge, because everything after that is just, yeah, he did stalk her. Yes, it's wrong, but did he physically put his hands on her to try and hurt her? Now, again, we don't know what his intentions were. And to be honest, I'm really concerned for the young man. I really am. I hope what comes out of this is that there's mandatory not only anger management, but counseling. Because it's not just the anger. For me, it speaks to control, right? Oh, you're not going to leave me. You can't make anybody do anything. You can't make anybody grown do anything. If they want to leave, they can leave. And, there's nothing you can do about that. So, but I you know what? I'm leaning 60%. The Falcons will probably keep him.
Right.
Wait a
Right.
minute. Hold on. Josh Gillingham says he thinks it's a video of him dragging her out of the house. Oh, that's different.
If there's new updates to this, I mean, I've been refreshing my Twitter a lot, and I'm just trying
Yeah,
to.
Josh, if you got the link, drop it in the chat. If you have that video, if you can find it, drop it in the chat.
I
Drop it.
I have his name on the search bar, and I just keep reposting. I mean, refreshing the
Yeah,
page. Nothing
yeah.
has came up just as yet. But big shout out to Caden in the chat. Big shout out to Atlanta Falcons Fandemic in the chat. Nando Barrington's in the chat
Pandemic.
too as well.
What's up, man?
Josh Gillum's in the chat. You said Crosby would be perfect. So everybody's in here talking Falcons football in a Falcon way. Big shout out to everybody, man. I can tell you right now that we love talking Falcons football, and for everybody bringing their comments and their thoughts and their questions to the chat here. We love reading it on the screen so that way everybody feels included on One Time for the Fan. Craig in the chat with no roast. He said Blank might keep him because he has shown in the past to go after questionable players, even in Deshaun Watson. Um, and these are the things that are circulating around the Falcons universe right now. Do we keep James Pierce Jr.? Do we release James Pierce Jr.? What should we do with James Pierce Jr.? Of course, none of us here in the chat work for the Atlanta Falcons or in the organization or in the front office. But just some of the things that we have heard over the past few days, even some of the updates that we got today with this plea situation, could possibly have him in a situation where he could be on the field. His next task is to find a way to deal with this police situation with Doral County Police Department, with the running from police, all those traffic citations that he got to as well, and of course hitting the police officer with his vehicle too as well. So a lot is going on here with the Atlanta Falcons. They even asked uh, some of the questions to the staff today too as well. You can clearly see that they are not going to go down that rabbit hole with these answers. They quickly went back to Falcons football, and they just have to say, "Hey, there's more details we got to look into, and this, that, and the third." And Jeff Ulbrich did a really good professional job of answering the question, and Kevin Stefanski too as well. So big shout out to the Atlanta Falcons here. For handling this situation. But Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We got A1 Forever in the chat. Anybody remodeling a house or you need a house built, A1 Forever is your best sheetrock guy in the city. He actually has deals for anybody who needs some sheetrock. You can get two ply sheetrock for less than what you will pay at Lowe's or Home Depot. And don't tell Arthur Blank that. But big shout out to A1 Forever in the chat. He was actually remodeling a house earlier when I went by. And, the drywall looks good, A1. Chris, you're doing a great job over there. Big shout out to Megan Wright in the chat, too, as well. She said, hey, guys, good to see you all. Sorry I'm late. Oh, Megan, you are right on time because we are talking Falcons football in a Falcon way. Don't forget, Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Please, please, please make sure you hit that repost, hit that reshare, hit that retweet, hit that like button. Go tag your Falcons friends and tell your Falcons family. I just got confirmation. I repeat, I just got confirmation that our two special guests are ready for Sunday night. We're going to talk some Falcons football. We go live Sundays at 8. Wednesdays at 8, Fridays breakfast with One Time for the Fan around 9:30 in the morning, where we have a special guest joining us Sunday night talking Falcons football. We'll get to that in just a moment here on the program. Now, big shout out to everybody in the chat who was talking Falcons about the James Pierce Jr. situation. Let's not spend the entire show discussing this because we can. Let the Falcons do what the Falcons need to do. Everybody who's disappointed is disappointed. And I'm sure that, they're going to conduct business in a Falcon way. Whatever their decision is going to be, I'm sure some people is going to be upset. Regardless if they keep James Pierce Jr., people will be upset. Regardless if they release James Pierce Jr., people are going to be upset. But let's not overlook the fact that our thoughts and prayers go out to Rakia Jackson, and of course what she's dealing with right now too as well, because we could be Falcon fans all day, but this is something that's happening off the field that is I think much bigger than football at this point. So Falcon fans, let's just definitely keep Rakia in our thoughts and prayers. Apparently she's not going to be finishing the season on her unrivaled basketball league. There was a one-on-one tournament that was coming up, a 3-on-3 league she plays into as well. Apparently she's not going to be playing that much longer because she's dealing with a lot of stuff off the court. And of course she plays in the WNBA. She's actually a really good WNBA player. So if you've never seen her play before, go check out some of her highlights, check out some of her tape. And of course, we're not going to say anything rude or disrespectful to Rakia in this type of situation. But there's just something that the Falcons need to handle. And of course, here at One Time for the Fan, any updates that we get, we will definitely talk about it on the channel. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. One time for the fan, from the fan, for the fan. We can move on to something else here, T. Well, I think everybody was really, really excited to hear from. We'll get A1 Forever in the chat. A1 said, indeed, indeed. My sheetrock business put Jack out of business. That's why he's podcasting tonight. Big shout out to A1 Forever in the chat. Big shout out to
There,
Coolest
buddy.
Dre.
He's got
Huh?
you there.
A1?
Yeah, he's got you there, buddy.
I'm glad he's acknowledging he has the sheetrock business
Oh
because
wow.
we're trying to promote and get people, some
Is
extra
that what we're doing?
some extra
Oh,
money here in the off season. And of course, if
got
A1
it.
Forever, if you don't see him live,
Got
you know
it.
why. But big shout out to A1 Forever here talking Falcons football. Coolest Dre's here talking Falcons football too as well. We are done with the James Pierce Jr. Go back to talking Atlanta Falcons football. T Will, we had some coaches, man, talking in the press conference today, man. You even mentioned it when the show opened today. And I'm sure a lot of people are feeling good about what they hear. Some people who are concerned about Tommy Rees got them feeling a little bit more welcome right now when Tommy Rees is at the podium. He's talking like an offensive coordinator, T. Will. Some of the things that he said today about Michael Penix and about this offense, and of course, the weapons that we have. And Falcon fans, we're a month and some change away, maybe from free agency right now. So be prepared for the moves they make, the re-signs. Of course, you probably heard news about Kirk Cousins might not be here. Of course, people are talking about Kyle Pitts and David Njoku put out a message, excuse me, from the Cleveland Browns the other day saying that he doesn't want to return to the Cleveland Browns, so he's going to become a free agent. Kevin Stefanski type guy. Does he want to come over here to Atlanta? That's something to look for. Can Atlanta pay him and Kyle Pitts and Caden Ellis and even Tyler Algier? These are some of the moves we got to look into. D. Alford, Khalid Kareem, David O, Leonard Floyd. There's so many players that the Falcons have to look at right now to help rebuild this defense and help to regain the strength of this offense. Charlie Warner there too as well. What moves are they going to make? Elijah Wilkinson, offensive line. So many moves, man. So just be prepared for these Atlanta Falcons. Caden said, is there a link so I can hop on with you guys? For tonight, Caden, there is no link because we're just doing our scheduled show. But Caden, reach out to myself and T Will after the podcast. Let's set you up on a show to bring you over here and talk Falcons football because we always have Falcons fan talks with a lot of our Falcon fans, podcasters, content creators, people who know how to talk Falcons in a positive way. And if you want to be a guest on the show, Caden, we'd love to have you as a guest on the show. So definitely reach out to T Will, myself, of course, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, so we can get you going here to talk some Falcons football. T Will.
Yes, sir.
Tommy Rees, man, saying Kevin Stefanski loves the game plan. Early in the week, those are really fun times as coaches when you're putting the plan together. Tommy seems like he is ready to go. I think it's really important to get to know your quarterback. There are certain calls to get you in a rhythm. I probably reflect on that more than anything. Tommy Rees talks about his take as a former quarterback, now being a play caller. How are you feeling about Tommy Rees? How are you feeling about Jeff Ulbrich, and of course Craig Ackerman too as well? Speaking to the media today, speaking to the fans, while the fans were in the chat having a roast off against each other with me, Jay Coop, and A1 and Big Low and the King of Atlanta supporter and ATO Dog and Craig. The Falcons were conducting business at the podium, man. So what is your thoughts on what you heard today? How are you feeling now, knowing that they still have to do some re-signs, knowing that they still have some roster building? Are the coaches talking to T Will in the language that T Will wants to hear?
Why are we talking about T Will in third person? T Will love what they had to say. Let me tell you how
I'm
T
just
Will.
saying, T Will, you have your podcast. You're a diehard fan. You go to a lot of games,
I'm just messing with you, man. T Will love what they had to say, baby. Let me tell you, no, I'm kidding. No, and in all seriousness, I really liked a lot of what he had to say. Now, again, there's a caveat here, and that is, hey, Raheem was great at conferences, and so I don't know. Maybe I'm a little weary of that. Maybe I'm a little hesitant, but Tommy Reese definitely made a good impression. He seemed to know exactly what he was talking about. A lot of what he said checks out. So I definitely feel good about him. But as they say, Jack, the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? For the past 2 or 3 regimes, I've always gotten super duper excited, and I think the one thing that I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to take it one step at a time and take it as it comes. You know what I mean? Now, for a first press conference, A's all around. I definitely gave me what I needed to hear. Number one, Kevin Stefanski does the game plan. I like it. Because Kevin Stefanski, from everything that I've seen, is a planner. So he's going to be prepared. I don't think we're going to have situations where, Bijan's going to be in an interview saying, we weren't prepared for that.
Right,
I don't think
right.
you're going to
We
have to
heard
worry
that
about
last
that.
year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I definitely think that, they're going to be prepared. And he said, and one of the things that I really like what I heard is when he said, we try and take what our players do well and bake that into the game plan or bake that into the plays. And they also seem to have a concept of basically what an offense is about, which is about keeping the defense off balance,
Right.
right? So if you're going to run plays, you're going to run plays not only to run the ball, but to set up play action.
Mm-hmm.
So you run it 3, 4, 5 times, off that counter, and then you come back the 5th time and it's a play action to a tight end on the other side of the field. Boom, it's wide open because you've got the defense going that way.
Stefanski talked about multiple looks. You got to offset
Correct.
that defense some way, somehow. You got to get them off balance.
Correct. And so I liked what he had to say about game planning against NFL defenses, because for me, that's what it's about. So I liked a lot of what he had to say, and of course I liked what Ulbrich had to say. It was a good day. I think they represented the Falcons well, but like I say, I'm tempering my expectations because, hey man, you got to prove it. You know what I mean? All that's great. Everything that they said is great, but it matters when they hit the field. So super excited about it. Looking forward to it, but let's hurry up and wait. Let's see.
Right. Right.
What did you think about it? What were your thoughts?
I think they definitely, whenever the fans were paying attention on the chat, because we're clearly having a battle of roasting each other away from the press conference. But I think they were speaking to the media in a way where, of course, no coach is going to give away their game plan, right? They're not going to tell you a specific style offense they're going to run. They're not going to tell you, oh, we're going to the West Coast offense this year. We need 6, 7 wide receivers. They're not going to tell you those type of things. But just to hear that, Michael Penix is in the room and he's rehabbing and they're working, on making sure that he's going to be ready to go for week 1. And of course, some of the past years of these coordinators and these people that's been in different buildings of what they was able to accomplish, I think is really big, because when you bring these people together, same like Mike McDonald when he went to Seattle with Clint Kubiak and Aiden Dirty and all these people, like you bring these people together and then you eventually, you create this atmosphere of a winning culture. I think we're starting to see some of these people that were getting more familiar with when they were first hired. You guys were probably like Craig Ackerman from the Dolphins, who Robert Quinn from the Miami, from the Dolphins wide receivers coach. Who are these guys? And all this XYZ in the third. Now with Jeff Ulbrich still being back in the building, he spoke highly of Kevin Stefanski, saying that there hasn't been a game where he's been on the better side of beating Kevin Stefanski, because Kevin Stefanski has some, they game plan well. And when you have a guy like Tommy Reese in the building, who's played quarterback too as well, you have the new passing game coordinator, Alex Van Pelt, who's in the building, who can help develop Penix and help getting these guys in the right space, the right track. Even for when they talked about putting the quarterback under center too as well. I mean, I think fans are ready to see what Penix can do under center, because Zach Robinson limited him to, so less last year. And this is an opportunity to see what Michael Penix is truly, truly made of in an offense where if you get the right weapons out there, if you resign Kyle Pitts, of course, with Bijan and Drake, and get you a high flying, speedy receiver at the number 2 spot or the number 3 spot, you're gonna put up some points on the board. I know some people was really concerned about points in the past with Cleveland. But this is an opportunity with this type of offense. We had the 2-time AP Coach of the Year in the past 5 years to come over to a team that needs to have a winning season. And we've been 7-10 and 8-9 and all these records where we had opportunities to make the playoffs. And a lot of that had to do with coaching. Yes, we can say that we was the quarterback play away, or the defense could have made a stop here and there, but a lot of that had to do with coaching. And I think when you have a guy like Kevin Stefanski in the building, of course, what he's bringing to the table, him and Matt Ryan too as well in the front office, it's going to set up for some success. And I really can't wait. I'm just like you, T. Will. Just want to wait and see what's going on. See the people in the chat are talking Falcons football. Jay Coop said, I like what everyone said today. Guys, I like it a lot, but I'm really just tired of us talking, man. Prove it on the field. Let's ball. Why not us? SMH, man, put it together on the field. So many fans are just like Jay Coop, and T. Will, you mentioned it. 8 losing seasons. They don't want to have a 9th losing season. They don't want to have a 10th losing season. They don't want to have to fire this coach and restart and rebuild all over again. This is the opportunity to go and get it now. Now, of course, a lot of first-time head coaches in their first year haven't won the Super Bowl. I mean, they've kind of pointed it out, on some of these programs that we watch, sports-related content. But you can have a winning season, though. You can turn the corner when you had 8 losing seasons to where week 11, week 12, week 13, I want Jay Coop to know that we're going to the playoffs. I want 82 Monte Carlo to know by week 15 that we might have to rest our starters in the next 2 days. I want people in the chat to come to this podcast and say, man, Jet, where you sitting for the playoff game this weekend? That's the type of talk that I can't wait to hear. I think Kevin Stefanski and the crew can bring it. We're going to chop it up more on Friday morning, breakfast one time for the fan. We can break down more of these comments of the coaches. I just got a text that I got to go pick up my son, and I don't want him over there where he's at right now too longer because they have school tomorrow. So I need to go make a run real quick, and we're going to wrap up this show here tonight. I know people like to talk here for 2 hours and 3 hours. We go to midnight. But tonight, we just have to wrap it up just a little bit early. But I do have a major announcement. Sunday night at 8 o'clock. I repeat, Sunday night at 8 o'clock, we have Berto 95 North and Bro Talk reporting eligible will be joining us here on One Time for the Fan. We'll talk some free agents. We'll talk some Kevin Stefanski. We'll talk some updates of anything that happens with James Pierce, because anything that you hear in the Falcons universe, I'm sure you guys follow a lot of content creators. If you're watching this podcast, Bro Talk and Berto, they're live right now too as well. So head over there, give them our shout out, give them our praise too as well from One Time. But they will be joining us here Sunday night at 8 o'clock. So big shout out to Berto, big shout out to Bro Talk. We've been trying to work this out for a minute. They've been on the podcast before. Berto's been on here like 3 or 4 times. Bro Talk was on here for his first time last year at the draft. We did our draft show, 5-hour podcast. They jumped on first. Then they went over to their program to go do their thing. But they'll be joining us here Sunday night at 8 p.m. So we're going to have a great time talking with Berto, an amazing time talking with Bro Talk here on One Time for the Fan. They're having a fantastic podcast over there that they work on together. So Berto, Bro Talk here Sunday night, 8 p.m. We had Tidy here for the first time recently. We had Maggie T here from the Ladybirds from AFN here for the first time recently. Uncle Steve, who's on the podcast for the first time recently. Damsky was on the show for the first time. I see Caden just sent me a message too as well. So we got to get Caden in rhythm too as well on the podcast. But it is going down in a major way. 82 Monte Carlo said all lanes of I-20 East in Dallas is shut down. Oh man, he must be in the truck right now.
What's going on, Carlo? What's going on, buddy?
Hey man, safe travels to you, Carlo. Man, make sure that you get home safe. Carlo. Yeah, make sure you get home safe and everything's good. I do have to run because it's been a couple of minutes here. I want to go get my son real quick. T. Will, shout outs.
Hey man, to everybody who joined us in the chat, we appreciate y'all. We love talking Falcons football with y'all, man, and it's just a good time every time we get together. So we definitely appreciate that. You guys could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be with us. We are appreciative. We will see you Friday morning, right back here, same bad time, same bad channel. I want to thank God for waking me up this morning, send y'all in my path. You can see me at For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. If you like the ATL Sports, if you like the movies and TV, you can check me out at For My ATL Movies 1 on YouTube. Last but not least, Brother Jack, Brother Eric, thank you so much for having me, man. Thank you for giving my start in this business. Love, respect, and appreciate y'all, man. Jack, it is on you, sir.
Hey, it's going down in a major way, man. We are back Friday morning, 9:30, talking Falcons football. So make sure you all are here. Breakfast for one time for the fam. We're gonna have a great time. Sunday night, we're back again too as well with Berto and Bro Talk from Reporting Eligible 95 North Falcon Talk Show. Man, it's going down. Big shout out to Miss Carrie. Big shout out to Bodie 3000. Big shout out to there he is, T Will from ATO Sports, man. Love and respect to everybody, man. I do have to run. I'm definitely apologize. I wanted to talk a lot more about the Atlanta Falcons tonight, but you got Birdo and Bro Talk that's live right now, so make sure y'all go check them out. I do have to make a run and go pick up my son, man. It's just, it's a family thing, man. So big shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We are out of here. T Will, I will see you Friday morning, sir.
See you Friday, brother.
Always, brother.